Okay, welcome everyone. It is great to have you here. A weekend day, but of course yesterday I wasn't live in the afternoon, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It has to do with Black Friday and moving to another country. The combination didn't go very well. Let me pop you guys out. Beautiful. Okay, so how are you all doing? You got yourself something nice during Black Friday, or you're skipping out and leave it for another day? So in my case, the reason I couldn't go live yesterday is so I made the update in the morning, of course, which was like 40 something minutes. And I actually wanted to go live in the afternoon. I did not expect buying my stuff that I needed to buy took so damn long, because I've been talking to you about upgrading the stream and getting a new, like, basically everything that you see now is pretty much gonna change. The only thing you see is me. Interestingly, by the way, I just realized that while I said it, I'm not changing. But I will have a closet in the back. I have some lights. I will have new laptop, new microphone, with a sponsored, or not a sponsored, like a Kunz cap on top, which is pretty cool. Gonna have a new light and a new this and that. And then I was like, okay, like, you know, you need to buy it. And first time in France where I actually buy this stuff. Usually we just go to the shops here. So on Amazon and other places, but I don't know, it just didn't want to work. And of course, if you're on the French page, while I can read a bit of French, but we're translating things to English with just the Google like lens thing, right click on the page and then translate to English. But then not everything worked 100%, and then like the cards didn't work anymore, and holy moly. So I was basically, for the whole day, I was shopping, or at least trying to, because I couldn't get it done. The card didn't want to work, and I had to look on the pages, and I ordered some stuff, like on one page I ordered the exact same, like, I don't know, like 8 items 3 times, because the first 2 times something went wrong. Oh man, I can get so annoyed by that as well. But yeah, that was basically what I was doing yesterday, is trying to get all my stuff in that I wanted to. I also ordered myself a like a prompter, you know, like an auto cue. It's something that I used to have when presenting on television on Fox Sports as well, but I need it for the talking head videos. So you probably won't notice it, or at least during the normal content, I won't have any auto cue. It's just like this, right? We're just chatting. During a normal Bitcoin update, there's no auto cues. But with the new style of videos that is gonna come, an auto cue does come in handy, because it's scripted. Yeah. It was a good day in the end, but oh boy, was it tough during the day. So hope you're doing good. Hope you enjoyed the price action. And yeah, we got the move up and we got a bit of a move to the downside, right? So very, very nice. We hit the resistance, which was the point of control here. And beautiful rejection with bearish CVDs before we then moved to the downside, and now here we are at like 96.6k. Now what we're going to do in today's stream, I have a bit more time than usual as well, is of course cover Bitcoin shortly and then move into some alts again, like we've done in the last live stream, and I think even the stream before. We've covered many alts, and it's nice. I do like chatting and Q&A combined with some analysis, right? So we can chat and talk, and then at the same time we analyze a new chart. So it's good. It's good. So that's what we're gonna do today. And then I have to stop streaming at like between 5:30 and and 6 is the absolute max, which is like 1 hour 20 minutes, 1 hour 50 minutes, because my wife and I are going to be out and about tonight, so we won't be home. So how are you doing, everyone? Georgian, welcome, and Luck Pro, what's up, man? Welcome to the Diamond team. Of course, Golden Badge, you've been a member for a longer period of time in the past, but now welcome to the Diamond Squad. Not sure if you're still here, actually. If not, then hopefully you watch the VOD, or we will just send you an email anyway. But you have to fill in the link for us to be able to give you... yeah, I think you already did it when you applied, but just in case, Koen's membership form. Because of course it's written in the membership video to fill in the question so we can get you sorted. But welcome to Diamond, man. Welcome. Good to have you here. Cheers, Luck Pro. So not sure if you're here, but if you are, then click the link, fill it in, or maybe you've already done that. Christian, what's up from Tyrol? Rodney Cowden, educated by the smartest man alive. Einstein. Elliott Wavestein. JP, what's up? Tara Osborne, welcome. Every time, by the way, I think I read Osborne with your name. I have to think about that guy from Spider-Man. Yeah? Mohib, how you doing? Agent J, Bitcoin dominance about to break its 3-year uptrend. Alt's finally going to catch a break. Yeah, it also hit resistance. The Bitcoin dominance hit an order block and filled the gap. So it would be nice to see a bit of downside. Mano Nespral, welcome from very hot Buenos Aires. Perkyo, JP, still got my Dutch clothes on, man. Agent J got more crypto. Yes, so what's up? AH44, how you doing? Okay, let's get this started. So we're gonna zoom out and then slowly zoom in as we go on Bitcoin, and then we move into the alts, shall we? So on the weekly time frame, of course, not much changes. We have the conservative count, which is what you see on my chart here. And then we have the not so conservative count, which is a much more bullish count here. So first of all, 5-wave impulsive structure, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always like to zoom out at the beginning of live streams, or generally when I start my day. So that I, again, like realize where are we in the bigger scheme of things, no? Now, at the moment, of course, we have a little bit of a local range. Highest amount of volume is in the recent candle. So in general, even on a weekly time frame, we are still looking for a wave 4 and a wave 5. So continuation to the upside. And in this scenario, we would finish a wave 5 between 81K, 129K preferably, and then start to move down. In your more bullish scenario, you want volume to pick up, because at the moment, volume is actually quite low. We broke out on a lower amount of volume than the move up here. So what you want to see in this scenario is price continuing up, but volume to increase. Yes, I know that on Binance, the volume apparently, I haven't even checked it myself, is higher because I got a few people commenting about it. But I personally use Coinbase since a very long time, and it is the only chart that I trust with regards to volume. So I just wait for basically this to happen. Right? That's what you want to see. Right? Price moves up, a bit of sideways price action, and then eventually here, this candle, that is the one where volume really increased. Now, of course, that means that price can move up and up and up and up before you get the very high amount of volume. And that's, of course, why we keep analyzing the lower time frames, right? The amount of volume can come at a later stage, but it is something that you do want to see in a bigger wave 3. You want price to continue up and then volume to go with it, right? So that's something to at least pay attention to. On the daily, currently, this is what we keep an eye on here, right? By the way, probabilities are on the weekly higher for the conservative, right? Always better to be conservative first. So looking for a 5, and with the alternative being a multi 1-2 and higher for 3. But at the moment on the daily, we still look for higher. Probabilities are here higher that we are looking for a wave 4. Doesn't matter if it's the white one on my chart or the blue one, really, because in both cases, you are still looking for at least one more push up. Now, the moment you take out all-time high and you continue to the upside in a wave 5 in white, then the bullish scenario is what you see on my chart. And the bearish scenario is going to be a finished wave 3 here, finished blue 4 over here, and then it is impulse up is going to finish blue 5, end of the bull market, and then you get a move to the downside, which of course, that would be your most bearish scenario, no? And you always need a bullish and bearish scenario. And then depending on that move up and the range that forms after, we'll know what happens next. We always do. So here on the chart, you can see an impulse, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. This then is your more bullish scenario. Of course, your alternative for the weekly, if you're looking for a big wave 3 on the weekly, right? The more bullish scenario on the weekly time frame, you actually want this to be really like another 2. But at the moment, the probabilities are higher. We're looking for a 4 for now. So your target area for 4 has been touched. The blue channel pretty much here, or the blue box, right? 93.5K, 86.6K. And then also the white area here has been touched with the first low that we made. Now, because of time, preferably, wave 4 finishes after this white vertical line, as commonly wave 4 is longer in time than your wave 2. Now, at the moment, also based on local price action here, the probabilities are higher for what we already expected anyway, which is a continuation of the range. So that the price action we have over here is still part of a wave 4, not part of a very big impulsive move. It's also weekend, and generally during the weekend you have like sideways price action, not a lot of impulsive price action. Like starting a wave 3 in the weekend is pretty much unheard of, right? So from a probabilities perspective, it makes a lot more sense to range. And of course, we can have a bit of price action. We moved down a little bit today as well, but you know, arguably it's still very, very sideways price action. And yeah, you know, for a wave 4, we hit the price target. And if we can finish this correction after the white vertical line, which currently still, you know, has the highest probabilities that this is still corrective, then you also have the highest probability time target on your side. Now, it doesn't mean that price needs to take out this low. There is no need, because the price target has been reached. And you, of course, have scenarios like a triangle or a sideways WXY, where not necessarily the low is taken, right? But at least you're reaching price target and time target. If we then go to the 1 hour time frame, of course, we had some action yesterday. Now, gotta say that video yesterday was quite intense. So thanks everyone for watching that video. I actually have no idea. I had many comments on the video actually, which was great to read. I do read your comments, even though I always reply to every comment, but it was difficult for me yesterday to actually comment because of my day and trying to figure out all the payment and changing countries and trying to get Black Friday stuff. So I had a tough time, but yeah, 2,000 people of you, which is insane. Check that one out. 44-minute video. And we, of course, covered this part of the chart very intensively, where the probabilities were eventually higher to take out this high based on the analysis, right? And then we also spoke about this being a straight line up, or, mind you, on the 15, this being a 3-wave to the upside. Ain't that nice, right? As mentioned during the analysis yesterday, hopefully it was useful for you. But one of the things that I said is, well, first of all, probabilities are higher to take that high, which is useful for trading. I was long. And then depending on this move up, right, we look for a continuation of the range, or of course you continue up. If this was a straight line, we look for bullish continuation. If this is a 3-wave, we look for rejection. Nice 3-wave structure, hitting the point of control. Then start bearish CVDs here at the high. Let me show you, by the way. You can see it on my chart here already. So we have lower highs on price, but we actually have a higher high on the yellow CVD and also on blue, by the way. So we had bearish CVDs touching the point of control at resistance, right? Resistance, bearish CVDs after the potential of a three-wave move, right? The most bullish thing was just continue and not have this dip. The fact that we got this dip and then continued up, you had to think about a three-waver here. And then bearish CVDs makes it very interesting. So that was nice. Now, with regards to the scenarios here, things are of course ever changing on a 1 hour time frame, and especially as this structure, this whole structure to the upside, is a very three-wavy structure internally here, and arguably this one as well. So there's a few things going on. Number one, triangles remains a bit too early in my opinion. But a triangle in a zigzag A, zigzag in B. Now mind you that your wave B then has to be an expanding diagonal. You're looking for an ABC in C, maybe even a little bit lower actually to support. Then you get D, then you get E, and then you continue. As mentioned, it is a little bit early still to really think about a triangle, but it is something I have in mind, and also something that Samith has in mind. Props to Samith, by the way, because this morning, 1 second, let me give the props as well. I always enjoy keeping an eye on gold. Here we go. This chart is from Samith, posted it this morning, and yeah, it's absolutely valid. Absolutely valid, especially with your B here looking very three-wavy in general. But as we all know, preferably you wait for a wave D. So we want to see more information before we can really start to give this the highest probability, which is also a reason I don't have it on my folder or in my folder. Now, then we also have a scenario that was proposed by Stuba, great Elliott wave counter himself, where he was like, well, with all of the three-wave structures here, right? What's the potential here, of course, of a diagonal? Initially, by the way, he was then looking, I think, for this. And then you have A, B, and C. Now, eventually wave 5 was longer than wave 3, which invalidates a contracting diagonal. And if I check the length of 4 versus, let's see, then your 2 is longer than your 4, so that doesn't work. And then the alternative is, well, are we looking for a bigger diagonal? The issue now, of course, is the length of the current move down here. We will get to the actual scenarios in a second. I'm also brainstorming while we are oh wait, my channel. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check here. Okay, we didn't yet hit the 1-to-1. So that means that 4 is shorter than 2 if you want to count a diagonal here. If this is 1, if this is 3, and if this is 2, then you do touch the low of the channel, which you don't want to see. If we put it here, you didn't. In general, I'm not a big fan of counting diagonals everywhere. It doesn't look like the greatest diagonal. I mean, even a triangle looks a little bit better. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at my old scenarios, see what's up, and then change it. Okay. So first of all, a flat. Now, mind you, this is not a early prepped live stream with all the scenarios ready. So I will probably have to do some analysis in a little bit. I'm just checking my folders, and then we just recount some of the stuff. So locally, of course, probability is higher to move up. We got to move to the upside in a three-wave structure. Rejection at the point of control, nice to see. bearish CVDs, price moving down. Okay, very, very nice, no? Now, with regards to a double zigzag, this is tricky. This high here, right, this high cannot be your blue B. So what you have on the chart is 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C, moving below 90.6 in this case. However, wave B most commonly is a zigzag family structure. And what you see on my chart here is a double zigzag, W, X, and then a Y, right? Now, if we want a double zigzag to happen in B, then your wave X is a running flat, 3-wave A, 3-wave B, and this needs to be a 5-wave C, pretty much. And a running flat is very rare, so then your X moves up. W, X, and then a Y. There's no other great scenario at the moment. Locally here, counting this as A, B, and then C, right? A flat in X. If this is only 1, and then you have 2, and then 3, 4, 5, it takes so long. It takes very, very long. Usually in a flat A, B, and then C, C is very short. So a running flat would make more sense. And then you have your X finished here. And then you have another zigzag in B. Mind you, it has to be, again, a 3-wave structure, right? Up, sideways, up, before you reach the blue box. If you just do this, continuation. And then after your B, you look for a wave C down. So the flat here is not an invalidated scenario. But in order for this to be an interesting scenario, you need a wave X to finish very soon and then start a wave Y to the upside, which very much depends on local price action. And also it is weekend, so most commonly you go sideways and you're not really starting bigger moves to both the up and the downside actually. So yeah, minimum target for X is reached, which is the 382.07. Shouldn't be touched, lowest probabilities. Counting myself here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, what's the chance? Of course, there's the potential of a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Oh no, never mind. Your 4 is bigger in price than your 2, so a diagonal here doesn't work. Because it hit the channel, and therefore it's not a contracting diagonal anymore. Contracting diagonal is the most common diagonal, so you want the lines to contract, right? But the moment you hit the upper trend line here, it doesn't work anymore. Holy shit. Yo, what's up, Otis? How you doing, guys? What's up, everyone? What's up, Alex, Nick, Radman, Tomali, Masi, Alexandra G, Mark coming in with the Otis as well. Trade intuition. Yeah, what's up, eh? How you doing? How's your weekend been, guys? 2-1, welcome, by the way. The bearish CVD, Ephraim, at the high here was on the 5-minute, and it was also visible on the 15. Utterly invasion, exactly. Tillian McPooch. What's up, guys? Furniture guy, Alta here. Yo. Dave, how you doing, man? How's gym going? Recently, I learned by Mr. Piper. Wait, what's this? It's so white, I can barely see it. Alexo Crypto and his viewers have just, I guess, arrived. Say hello. Well, I did. Wow. Yo, YouTube. Make it more white, please, eh? Can barely read it. Week 55 complete. There we go. We redirected it to you. Ah, yeah, exactly. I learned about that from Piper. Yo, cheers, everyone. Week 55. Keep it up. New year coming. Yeah. By the way, the fact that a contracting diagonal here, right, doesn't work because of your 4 moving out of the channel, right? So it's not a contracting anymore, and you do want a contracting diagonal. Wave 2 and 4 have to be zigzag family structures in a diagonal, right? So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and 2 have to be zigzag structures. And therefore, ABC, right? You need another ABC, but your 4 is too big. So it's not contracting, it's now expanding. And an expanding diagonal is first of all very rare and never preferred. And second, your 5 has to be bigger than your 3, which it isn't, because your 3 is bigger than your 5, which isn't allowed. So a diagonal doesn't work, which therefore then means that if we want to finish a wave X at this low, we need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is all corrective. And then you have 1, 2, and then we go back to the 1 hour. And then you need 3, 4, 5. But you can see that if this is a flat A, B, C, this is a very big C, no? And that's not what we like to see. So it does lower the probabilities for this whole scenario. The local price action plays an important role in the probabilities of the higher time frames. You did reject in the common target area for a wave B, right, in a flat. So 3 wave A, 3 wave B, 5 wave C. The problem is we cannot count this as a legit diagonal, which means we can't end a 5 wave structure at the low, which means that either you're not yet finished or we're just not even looking at a flat here. And then again, if we think about a wave C, most commonly a wave C is very quick. So unless this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you start a big wave 3 in the weekend, which isn't very common, right? This scenario doesn't really add up nicely. So A, B, C. So in other words, if price is going to move down again, right? So you have a 5, you get a 3, you get another 5. I wouldn't be really looking at counting this as a WXY anymore. The triangle starts to look more interesting. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 up. The other scenario we had here was a zigzag and a 5, a 3, and a 5. Not invalidated. Invalidation is the high. But wave B has to be a 3-wave structure. And in this case, we can then do this so that wave B finishes after the 382. So that's good. Wave B also ended below your invalidation, right? That's also good. And in this case, your wave B. Sorry, guys. I will look at chat in a second after we cover this stuff here. A, B. And if we want to, so this is a 3 and a 3. So either you count this as a WXY, but you can't have a WXY in a wave Y. So you can't have a WXY. You need this to be a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think we just mentioned. So wave 2 is bigger than 4, but wave 5 is larger than 3. So we can't have a diagonal here. So if we want B to be a zigzag 5, 3, 5, we cannot count this as a diagonal. 5 is bigger than 3, but 2 is bigger than 4, which isn't allowed. And that then only leaves you with counting this as a 3-wave structure, which then, this can't be C. No. Oh, I'm just gonna remove everything here. I'm just gonna redo. So for the ones that do like live analysis, this might go very quick, by the way. Are you sure the price is going to the upside? I'm not agree. Must wait to short to 90K. Depends on the time frame you're talking. If we talk about a weekly and daily time frame, then the answer to your question would be yes, of course, in probabilities. So the probabilities on the higher time frames are higher to continue towards the upside. But if we talk about the weekly and the daily, continuing a range here, right, is no problem on a weekly or a daily time frame. That is local price action, right? That's day trading, scalping, that's where it's important, right? And locally, yesterday, if you checked the video yesterday, if this became a 3-wave structure, which it was, and we hit resistance plus bearish CVDs, we're looking for rejection, and we got to rejection. So very nice, very nice. Now let's get this started. Again, this it might go quite quick because I'm going to talk to myself, which I usually don't do, but of course now there's people watching. Yo, cheers, Alex. Thanks for coming in with the crew, man. Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend as well, Alex and co. All the otters. Enjoy, guys. I miss the Netherlands when I'm here. There's a couple of Dutchies here for sure. Are you sure? Okay, yeah, here we are. Yo, cheers, Alex. Enjoy your family time this weekend. So the daily is easy. The weekly is easy. Now we're gonna zoom in here. Okay, zigzag. Let's and I recommend to do this, right? So first, step one is it does on a high time frame in this case, right? Are we looking for up or downside? Probabilities are higher on the higher time frame. We're still looking for prices to move up on a weekly or a daily. Now we are just ranging. We are looking for this range to be a wave 4, after which we still look for a wave 5. So continuation to the upside, higher time frame. Now what exactly are we looking for here? Okay, let's start with a zigzag. A zigzag should be a 5-3-5 structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. 1 expanding diagonal, 2, 3 flatten, 4, 5. So an expanding diagonal in wave 1, running flat in a wave 4. That is both not very common, right? Okay, well, anyway, you know how a diagonal looks like. So expanding diagonal. And then you need a 3-wave structure, 3, and then you need another 5. So 5, 3, 5. The main question is, can we count a good 3 in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential. Expanding diagonal 1, plus then this is a running flat, right? But the main thing, can you count a 3-wave structure in B? Okay. If this is a finished 3-wave structure, the invalidation for a zigzag is the high. If this would be a finished 3-wave structure, can we finish this? This being an expanding diagonal is not possible. So A, B, C in a wave B doesn't work. W, X, Y, well, problem is in wave Y we can't count an internal W, X, Y. That's not allowed. So counting this as an A, B, C or W, X, Y doesn't work. In other words, for a wave B in a zigzag, ending the structure at the high does not work. You can't end wave B at this high and then expect a 5-wave C to the downside at the moment. Okay. So then alternative scenarios for your wave B, if you do look for a zigzag A, B, C, knowing that this is not wave C, is not wave Y. Now, therefore, we then have to think about this being a three-wave structure, which can only then lead to a flat or triangles. WX A, B, C, D, E, and then down. But a WXY sideways structure with a triangle in a wave Y, low probabilities because your wave A is a WXY in this case, and most commonly wave A, by far most commonly, should be a zigzag 535 and not a WXY. So that doesn't make any sense to count this as W zigzag X and then a triangle in a wave Y. Low probabilities, which then gets us to, by the way, let me put this on the stream so people can see it, a flat, and then a flat is ABC, but then the B has to be a, if this is a 5 wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the lower time frame, and this is a 3, you need another 5, and you are quite easily gonna hit invalidation, as a wave C tends to be the same size in price, and at least price, but time, sometimes C can be very long or short, but the same size in like price. But if this is A, B, C, inside B, you're not allowed to move above this high, that's invalidation. So a flat A, B, C running flat doesn't make sense. You would need an expanding flat, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. However, if we then compare your first structure up with this range here, so this move up compared to the sideways move, it starts to take a very long time. Plus it is weekend. Weekend, not famous for its wave threes, right? More famous for sideways price action. So if we look at time and we add the weekend days, then basically Monday starts over here. Now that means that from a weekend perspective, it's most common to go sideways. However, if this is a 1 and then you look for a 2 and then you only start wave 3 on Monday, then your wave C of a flat ABC, oh sorry, this whole structure, A, B, C, this is taking very long. It's almost 5 times longer than the move to the upside. So that's not really great. So it starts to diminish the probabilities for a zigzag. The best thing that can happen to a zigzag, if you want to count it as an A, B, and then eventually a C, is that this is multiple 1-2s and you drop. But then you get a wave 3 during the weekend. How often do you see wave 3s during the weekend? Right? It's very rare to see wave 3s during the weekend. So you can't really give that the highest probabilities. So in other words, a zigzag 5, 3, 5 only makes sense if you have move up, 3-wave corrective structure, and then you need another move. W, X, and because W is a zigzag, X can be a flat, or Y can be a flat or a triangle. So WX, A, B, C, Y, but then you would expect more downside, or a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and then down, still expect more downside. So actually, in other words, for a zigzag, we want to see more downside first. If you do not, like if you can't follow this, no problem. I'm doing live analysis, and I usually don't talk when I do my analysis off stream. And I'm not explaining everything I see or do. I try to, but it might go very quick, and it sounds like abracadabra. But by all means, in a nutshell, you can't end the correction at this high. That's basically conclusion. We can't count A, B, and C because your B here, this cannot be a diagonal because 5 is bigger than 3. But 2 is bigger than 4, which isn't allowed. So A, B, C, no, can't finish a B here. W, X, Y, not allowed, can't have an internal W, X, Y, and Y. So then we have to think about this being corrective, which means this is either a B or it's an X. But then you're gonna like get a, you know, that's where you then need to have either a wave C down and then another move up, W, X, Y, or A, B, C. But by all means, you look for a move down in that case. Right? So in a flat A, B, C, too high. Oops. So B or X. Yeah, anyway, we got the conclusion. I don't have to repeat the analysis. Flat structure. For a flat, we didn't go high enough. So this one is almost like, you know, it's a little bit irrelevant, but you need a 3-wave structure here in an A. And then we need a big 3-wave structure in a wave B and then a wave C down. Most common is for price to take all-time high and then start a wave C to the downside. Now that means that in a bigger B, you need to count a 3-wave structure. Most commonly, wave B is a zigzag family structure. So a 5, 3, 5 or a WXY. Now here we go again. We cannot count this as the end of a wave Y, or we can't count this move to the upside as a wave C as well. Like this move up sideways and this move up here, this is not a great partner for the first move up, right? Y or C, for the same reasons. You can't have a WXY in Y, and this being a wave C, it's not even an expanding diagonal because the rules are not respected. So if we are looking for a wave B of a flat in A, B, C, then we need this to be the first structure, right? Most commonly zigzag family structures. So the first structure up is either a wave A, a 5-waver, or a W, doesn't matter. Then we have our corrective phase, and then we look for another move up. Now in this case, the high is again either a wave B or a wave X, which means that A, B, C, or WXY in this corrective structure, we are looking for A, B double zigzag is C, A, B, and then C. But the problem is with a running flat A, B, C that, as mentioned earlier, we cannot end the C at the low. Because, I mean, no, you have an expanding diagonal, but your 3 is longer than your 5, so that's not allowed. So we can't actually end a 5-waver here. So A, B, and then C, and then just continue impulsively. It doesn't really make sense. So then we have our W, X, and then of course we can have a wave Y. W, zigzag family structure in that case. Then you have your X, and then Y. But Y is not allowed to be a zigzag because W is a zigzag. Y can only be a flat or a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, sideways range and up, or A, B, C. In both cases, you would take the high first. I see end before B. 200 people watching? For real? It's more than yesterday or the day before. During the weekend, yo. C can end before A if it's a zigzag irregular. Yo, my friend, if you talk about probabilities, first of all, like I've never seen it. Second, in probabilities, Elliott waves, 5-wave A, 3-wave B, and a 5-wave C that doesn't take the high of A, my friend, you can better try and look for any other scenario than a truncated C in a zigzag. It's the same with the wave 4 touching the 618, right? It's the same with the wave C touching the 0.618. It's the same with a flat touching the 1.618. It's the same with an expanding triangle. It's the same with an expanding diagonal. Those are all incredibly rare occasions. So truncations, truncated 5 in an impulse, truncated C, right? It's incredibly rare. Like you can better just look for anything else than a truncation. If you have a truncation as your highest probability, then probably something's wrong in the count. Unless all of the other things are invalidated, which usually only happens when actually there's nothing else left, right? I mean, that's literally what invalidated means. So, yeah. It's always good to at least be aware of truncations. It's just that they are so rare, it just doesn't make sense to put those on the pedestal and have them as your number one. No? So anyway, where were we? We were flats, yeah. So we need a three-wave structure in B, more upside first. Something just hit my mind, so I'm just checking. Not great. I was thinking, like, how can we make this a 5-waver? But then you would still need to take the low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get a diagonal. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, yeah, you want overlap between your wave 1 and 4, but then your 4 goes too high, expanding diagonal, and then we get back to too low probability scenarios. Okay. A, B, C. This being C doesn't work. WXY doesn't work. Can't end something here. We can't end wave Y. Can't end wave C. So we can't have ABC. We can't have WXY. We can have this as a separate structure in W or in A. Then we need a 3-wave structure, either ABC, but we can't count this as a wave C, or WXY, meaning W. So this has to be a zigzag structure. Bit tricky price action for a zigzag, but this then needs to be a zigzag. This is a B or an X, in this case an X, and then you need a wave Y, either a flat A, B, C, or a triangle A, B, C, D, E. Too early to talk about triangles. It would continue the range, but in both cases, A, B, C, D, E, you would then move up and take the high. So a flat is take the high first. Okay, now the triangle is easy, A, B, C, D, E. Now let's at least put it on the chart, because of course here, your wave B, again, needs to be a way like a zigzag. And that's the problem. I think I'm gonna zoom into this this B here again. Okay, so what's going on here? So this move to the upside, this is very much a 3-wave structure, right? That's perfect. That's what we were looking for yesterday. So this is a nice 3-wave, not a 5-wave. So we cannot count A, B if we want to finish it here, and a C up, right? This is not a 5, this is a 3. So then we need another structure. But if we look at this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can't overlap between 1 and 4, and then you need to think about diagonals again. Then this is 3-wave 1, 2. This then needs to be a 3-wave structure. A, B, C in a 3. This needs to be a 4, and this needs to be a 5. Let's check this out. This is we have to go into a bit lower time frame now. Okay, can we, because it would make life simple if we can actually count a 5-wave structure here. Up, 5 minute. I don't really like the caps guy. I don't really like to go to 5 minute time frames. Okay. Just reminded this move up here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. What if you finish 5 here? This is a flat ABC. And then you get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would mean this turns into a 3. And that is what you need in an ending diagonal. So then you have a 3 here. You got a 4. 1, 2, and then another 3 and 5. So by all means, if we do this, then how does 5 compare to 3? Because 5 is not allowed. 5 is longer than 3. Oh, that's a pity. No. 5 is longer than 3, which is not allowed. Because if 5 is longer than 3, you have to think about expanding diagonals, but then 4 needs to be bigger than 2, which is not the case. That is true, Dominic, but it's also for if you count a B or an X, and you count this as a WXY, then your wave Y internally becomes an ABC. And then you still end with a C, but it's not a 5-wave C. It's an internal WXY. And of course you end in C, yes. C of Y, of B or X. What are other charts? Do all the charts here take the high? Yo, Shadowjacker, make sure to tag me. Let me check index. How's index doing here? I want to see if all the charts have a longer 5. Okay, index does not. Okay, that's interesting. Index doesn't have a higher 5. This is Bitstamp. Bitstamp did take it. Bybit didn't. Okay, wow. That's a mix. Okay, next. So index and Bybit have a shorter 5, which is allowed in a diagonal. Oh, and this one for sure. Binance not even close here on the chart. 60K. 60K, you would need another. There's bear market. you have a finished 5-wave impulse in 15K. You look for a big 3-wave move down, bear market, and then you continue afterwards with a new impulse. There's no drop to 60K without bear market, because for a flat we went too high, 99K. We moved above the 1.618, taken from 73K to 49K. So that's wishful thinking. Oh wait. Interesting. Okay, it's so so it's good to compare sometimes. So no bullish scenarios. If you go to 60K, so I mean, you always talk, of course, about very bearish scenarios. But first of all, 60K isn't the highest probability at the moment. Second, if you go to 60, then just prepare for a bear market. There's no bullish scenario that's gonna get you out of there. Just you're looking for a big corrective structure, which you already have if you by the way go from 99 to 60. It's quite a drop now. Okay, so on some charts this is allowed. Now we keep that in mind. On some charts we can have a C in there. So instead of doing all the nitty-gritty, we can at least consider that. I never really like it when charts do not align. In a triangle we do need it. So I have support over here, which is at 93, which is interesting, but that's for a triangle where, preferably in a triangle, you wait for a wave D to be finished. A, B, C, D, E, and up. But we're not even close to D. So how can you give the highest probabilities to a triangle, right? But a triangle, if we, wait, I'm going to do two things here. No zigzag. No, wait. Triangle. Triangle is not possible if we cannot count this as a C. In a triangle, you need this as an A, B, and this has to be a C. You need a diagonal in here, else you can't have a triangle. So if you do not count an impulse in this move up, you can't have a triangle. That's what I basically wrote here. So I'm gonna have a list now. With and without. That's what we're gonna then see what the conclusion is. Tagged you, tagged me. In Bitcoin TA, Shadowjacker. Andreas, is it? Yeah, Emily, Anthony guy, we're analyzing the chart. I don't have scenarios pre-analyzed for today. Is Andreas, is that you, Shadowjacker? In that case, yeah, we crossed the trend line, but I don't really use the trend lines. But it's interesting, right? It can go both ways. Either a fake out, make people very bullish, or of course it actually is very bullish. But by the way, Emily, Anthony guy, for you at the moment, if you want to be short and snippy here, if you just have a limited amount of time, highest probability on the weekly is to still look for price to move up, right? Either look for a higher 5 to finish, because the highest amount of volume is in the recent move to the upside. So you're still looking for 4 or 5, meaning all-time highs have the highest probability. And on a daily time frame, right? So these are the higher time frames. So without all the nitty-gritty detail stuff on the low time frames, on the daily time frame, you're just looking for a range in 4. Whatever happens here, if you don't want to be bothered with low time frame, and you still look for price to move up. And then the nitty-gritty stuff, that's basically what we are just looking at. It's just the details. We have very, very big, I do keep this in mind, we have really big bullish CVDs actually. Higher low on price and much lower low on the CVD. So there's a lot of absorption with this drop. So as price was moving here, there was a lot of absorption of market shorts with limit longs, which is definitely noteworthy, no? WXY, WX A, B, C, D, E, but then you do have a WXY and a B, which doesn't have high probabilities. Most common for C, uncommon for D, very rare for B, and even more rare for an A and an E. In other words, not very likely. W, X, Y, or Y. But then again, you need this to be a 5-wave structure. If you want to end X here, you need an A, B, C. W. Top on November. Oh, we're not putting the top on November. Oh, wait. No, November 2025. That's still a year left. How can we put the top on November 2025 without any big correction? Then this has to be another wave 2, and then you just go up. I mean, what is a big correction, right? Depends who you ask. This is still almost 10%. Is that big? I mean, if you've been in crypto for a longer period of time, then you will probably say no, right? But in that case, if you really want to get an all-time high in November 2025, this needs to be another 1-2. So anyway, let's finish the analysis here. Get this over with. We've been here for way too long. I don't even know why I'm trying to count all the detail while it's absolutely irrelevant for the higher time frame, but it's fun. W, if we look for a wave X, if this is X, W, X, and then Y, we need A, B, C, D, E, but then your B is complex, low probabilities for that to happen. W, X, and a flat, A, B, and then C. We can't count this as a C here. W, X, that's an issue, unless we count this as a 5-wave structure. And then you get to W, future X, and then a Y. Future X in that case is a WXY. I feel no, that's just bullshit. WXY is bullshit. Okay, nice, done. If you are allowed to count this as a impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's this now? If price doesn't take this low, there is the potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a diagonal. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonal, retracement, continuation. But that would mean that this is a wave 4 and this is the start of wave 5 again. But this being the low of wave 4 in a daily time frame has low probabilities because of time. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. Zigzag, A, B, and then C. If this is allowed to be counted as a zigzag, with this being an impulse, then we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It makes life so much easier. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C. Is that definitely a possibility? Yes. Okay, flat. 3. In that case, we haven't yet touched the minimum target for a flat. So then this can't A, B, C. Okay, that's fine. But if this is A, B, C, we didn't go high enough. we can't count this WXY because then a flat is off the card. So this needs to be W, this needs to be X, this needs to be Y. Minimum target for X is not yet touched. That's the 382 at 95.6K. Preferably minimum target. Okay, there we go. W, X, Y, or A, B, C, D, E, sideways. A, B, C, D, E, up. And then you take the high first. Oh, okay. So let's conclude this mess on Bitcoin. I'm actually yeah. Why did we go into the low time frame? It doesn't make any sense. Higher time frame, we're looking for a continuation to the upside, bull market to continue, all of the local price action, and a move up. On a daily time frame, highest probability is that the shit that's happening here on the lower time frame, all of this mess and sideways rubbish, is part of a wave 4, which is also typical for a wave 4, by the way. And then we're still looking for price to move up and take out all-time high at a later stage. And on the 1 hour time frame, that is where it's like that's a pain in the ass. Shit, where's my up? So on the 1 hour time frame, this move is tricky. On some charts, you are allowed to count this as a diagonal. On some others, you're not allowed because your final move up here is longer than your 3. So that makes it very messy and very difficult. Zigzags, we need more downside. Okay. Flat, take the high first. Triangle is not possible in that case. So if this move up is counted as a 3, not a 5, then this is true. We need to get to the probabilities though. If the impulse is allowed, then zigzag down is possible, flat, but X preferably lower. So preferably we first see downside. In a zigzag, you preferably see downside. In a flat, preferably downside. In a triangle, you also preferably take the low because you're looking for ABC. By the way, we're talking here A, B, C, D, E, and then up. So then you also preferably move down, and in a WXY, WX, and then eventually, take the high first, but we can't count WX. We have a little bit of support below us at 95.6. I would like to see that hit. So even in a WXY, preferably you then move down, hit the daily, find support, get a 3-wave up, A, B, C, A, B, C. For a W zigzag, X zigzag, and then Y flat. But all of them still lead to lower. So I should actually write this down as all scenarios lead to lower prices. Okay, so that is the confluence. Okay, and then if we count this here as a corrective structure, zigzag, still more downside. Downside, flat, a yeah, so a B of a flat, then this has to be a wave C. However, at the moment, of course, you can see how it's channeling. So we can only really think about a flat if this is 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you get a very big 3 for then A B C. Otherwise, we can't count this as impulsive at the moment. So that's where things don't really add up, because we can't count this as an impulse, right? This move. But if we want to count this as a B, this has to be C, but we can't count it C. Right? So flat, take the high triangle, wouldn't be possible. WXY is bullshit. So probabilities are higher to still look for, at least locally, a little bit lower. Daily time frame remains up, right? Daily time frame is still higher to look for all-time highs. I'm just counting here 1 second again. Look, it would make more sense. It would make more sense to count this as a 5 in a diagonal, even though on my chart it doesn't work. On Index, Bybit, Binance, you can. It just makes things so much more simple. And if you count this as a finished 3, it opens up the possibilities. You have the zigzag ABC, you have a triangle, right? You can't have a flat. You need higher for a flat. But then you have W, zigzag, X, preferably lower, Y, right? So you first go down and then you go up, so you can react at a later stage. And even with a WXY, WX, and then A, B, C, and Y, so you still look for lower at C. Or you have a WX and then A, B, C, D, E, triangle, and then you move up. But you still want the bigger A. This makes so much more sense than trying to because if you're not allowed to count this as a 5-wave structure, it becomes super messy. A, you need a later B and C. Your B then is to W. You can't have WXY. You can't have this. We can't count ABC if we don't count this as a 5. So this then has to be ABC, but we can't count this C. WXY, but W is a zigzag, Y can't be a zigzag. So Y needs to be either a flat or a triangle, ABC, right? But you got to be aware, this is invalidation of a zigzag. W, X, A, B, C, that would be your Y, or W, X, A, B, C, D, E, but then A is a complex structure, so it doesn't make sense. So the only thing then is a flat. WXABC, meaning downside first. Yeah, that's what I wrote here. More downside first. Okay, nice job. If you want to look for a flat where this is not allowed to be a 5-wave structure, you need A, B, C, and B needs to be a zigzag family structure, so either A, B, C, or W, X, Y. The problem is that we need to finish the first structure here. A, B, C, not allowed. Can't count this as C here. W, X, Y, W, X. First of all, W needs to be a zigzag, which by itself is a bit trickier, but W, X, and then Y is A, B, C, so you still look for lower. Or W, X, A, B, C, D, E, but the triangle is very, very early. A bigger triangle, not possible, and WXY is probably, of course, W, X, A, B, C, D, E, but then your B is complex, doesn't make sense. W, X, A, B, C, Y, but at the moment this is not a C, so yeah, I don't like WXY. Ooh, okay, anyway, probabilities, more downside. All scenarios lead to downside if we count this as a 5, and if we don't, then zigzag downside. Flat, we still expect lower, but you first take the high, A, B, C, so you still look for downside. That's the conclusion here. Triangle is too early, you need sideways movement. Doesn't make sense to think about a triangle. Big triangle would be possible. WXY is also bullshit. So basically, the probabilities are higher to first look for downside. Okay, very nice. Next, we're going to go somewhere else. So in other words, we like to see lower prices first. Now, with regards to support, we have a daily here at 95.6K. Am I going to remove this? Yeah. So we have a daily at 95.6K. And then we have supports lower. 93, 91, 89, 87. So... Jongen. Now that's the 1 hour like 1 hour stuff. One, two, three, four. We can count a 5 here and then look for a 3-wave, but you need A, B, C. A, B, C now becomes a running flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or it's W, X, Y, but that is corrective. And then a flat A, B, C. Yeah, it just doesn't look. You'd still look for, even if you move up and get a bit of a retracement and la-di-la, you would still look for price to take out this low later. So it just doesn't show any. Yeah, a bit of a move up. You can long it, like Crypto Ace says, but I'm not. I haven't taken, like, I had a long yesterday when price moved up, but I closed it once we entered my resistance, like somewhere here. That's where I closed it. Even though volume came in and volume was increasing, I'm happy to miss out on the potential of a 3 if we got it. I don't care. Yeah, I made my money, but I closed it in my box somewhere in the middle. That was it was my plan, and I stuck to my plan. So yeah, that was my final my latest long in the range. That's a lot of Bitcoin. When the lower time frames are really shit, always zoom out. So basically what I did is a great example of like, if you want to learn Elliott waves, then this is good, right? Because you really got to think about all the rules and how everything combines. So if you're studying, you know, it can be very interesting to analyze something like this. And then, of course, look at different charts for, hey, can we count this as a 5 or can we not? And what's the difference? Why does it matter? But generally, right, if you really start to lose your shit, then do not even bother analyzing this range. Stay on the daily and the weekly, and the probabilities are clear, right? You just look for up. Unrelated to any of the price movement between 100K and, you know, whatever, 85, 90K, right? So unrelated to then whatever happens here, if you don't want to jump into the lower time frames and analyze the mess. You just stick on the higher time frames. So, but I do like puzzling. For me, it's playing a game. It's like an interesting challenge. Mark, you want to trade without fees? This is not the place to try and sell your own whatever someone is selling. So we all know MEXC has the lowest fees, but it's also not the best platform. So yeah. Fees only tell half the story, but it baits people into joining platforms. So, you know, how does everything operationally work fluently when people don't pay fees? Money's got to come from somewhere. No? I'm happy to pay fees, part of business. I don't mind paying fees. I make more profit anyway, down the line. So, okay. Anyway, let's have a look at some other stuff. And first, the chat, because I've basically neglected all of you when I was analyzing. Overset Tim, watching my brain tick. Almost ticking out of control there. But we got a conclusion. That takes us to the daily level. WXY by any chance? Let me check gold here. Razor, Stuba. Yes, Stuba. I don't know if Stuba is watching, but that's exactly indeed like what I then had on my chart. And so some people are not in, you know, not everyone is in gold, of course. So this is what I just counted, right? ABC. Correct in this case, right? And what chart is this? Binance. Yeah, on Binance it's lower, clearly lower. So that's good. And then internally here, that's also correct. I thought about it, but then you still take the low. So it still adds to the probabilities of actually taking out this low, where then your wave 1 here is ABC or WXY, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine, but then you still look for lower. And of course, that's the conclusion on my chart here. Is, you know, you would first look for still lower prices. And then we take it from there. So yes, you can indeed count 1, 2, 3, 4, but you still look for lower in 5, which is perfectly in line with probabilities. But that's Tuba. So now let's go to Razor. You can count a finished X, WX, A, B, C, WX, A, B, C. That's true. Nice one. How did I miss that one? That would be for a flat. And then W, X, and then you need an A, B, C here. Yes, because then you have a diagonal in A. This has to be B price action, and then a wave C. So of course, in that case, you're going to move up, which is in line with daily probabilities. That's what we want. Doesn't change what, like the local, if you look for WX, WXY or a 5 waver, like WX. In that case, WX, you need a Y, but WX, pop, Y. Then you need a WXY in your B for a C up. But yes, that is absolutely a scenario. Struggling to find a count that allows for the initial move down to be counted as an impulse. Overset Tim, the problem is a WXY double zigzag in a wave A is basically unheard of. Oh, wait, here. No, where is it? This one. But yeah, nice one, Razor. Nice one. I'm done with Bitcoin. Thanks, Marco. What's been going on here? Maybe missed a few small things. Don't understand what you're doing, but I'm watching it anyway. I like to hear that. What's this? What about irregular? Yeah, don't prioritize irregular corrections and truncations and that sort of stuff. Ice Cubes lady, thank you. I've been watching all your videos. They've helped me so much with understanding Elliott waves. It's what we like to hear. Thanks, Ice Cube lady. And thanks for watching the videos. You know, that's what I do it for. And hopefully people learn a thing or two. Appreciate it. Nice to hear. I'm gonna save that. I always enjoy sometimes looking back at like comments. Yeah, it's nice. Okay. We answered this one. We answered this. Just Captain Swag. We also cover alts. Bitcoin is the main focus, and during some live streams we cover alts as well. Need to get into that now before I have to go. The analysis would be in line with potentially that move down, but I don't really look at monthly opens, closes, weekly open, closes. Of course, the weekly open can definitely at times be volatile, right? The night from Sunday to Monday, Central European time. So yeah, could be in line then with what you're thinking here. So we answered this with the conclusion just now. Answered all of this, catching up. Some says Kun isn't human, AI. Daniel, yesterday's video was one of my favorite. Thank you very much for it. Very educational. Thanks, Daniel. The nitty gritty can be a lot of fun, can also be very annoying. Pick your poison. You know, pick your poison. But I'm glad you enjoyed that one. Yeah, it was a long one. Watched all the educational, but you're a reference for me. I love your simplicity when it comes to expressing yourself and expressing it in graphics. Thanks, Daniel. I do try to keep it as simple as possible for people to follow. Not in today's stream and in the video yesterday, right? This is both complex stuff. But generally in the Bitcoin updates, I like to keep it very simple, but also with how I present my scenarios, I like to show them like almost like a PowerPoint. You know? This scenario, next scenario, probabilities, finito. Right? Yeah. I guess there's a bit of my global keynote speaking career in how I present my stuff for you. It's basically giving short presentations all the time. So Black Friday after party. Do you think Bitcoin will dump at all today? I mean, what is dump, right? I don't think dump if you talk about a very big move. But we have been grinding to the downside, and the probabilities remain higher to still take out this low at the later stage. Right? Will that happen today or tomorrow? Doesn't really matter. Next week. Do you do SK? No, but I do know Stefan personally. because we have been in the same esports team when I was a professional. So I was a professional player and he was a esports coach. Next time you see him or talk to him, just ask him, hey, do you know Koens? With a Z. You got to specifically write down Koens because that was my gamer name. So we were in the same team, and to this day, we are sometimes still in touch. Do you have any positions on Bitcoin, Koen? Like, do you talk like high time frame or low time frame? So on the high time frame, yes, and on the low time frame, short, which is, by the way, not taken today. That was taken yesterday. So yesterday I was long here, and then when I saw the rejection, that's where I shorted. I gotta say, I already it's not a full position anymore. I already took some profits because this move down. It's very slow, and then it's weekend price action, which is commonly ranging price action. So I was looking for the potential of a bigger move, but this is it's a bit meh. So I stop break even, and I don't care. Yeah. Monthly VWAP incoming. Oh. Okay. So the first one that shouts an alt. Anyone looking at something? You want me to have a look at anything? Just like as a side note, I have like maximum 23 minutes. So, I can't do like 10 alts here. Okay, there you go. So, what's the time? 1:37. I'm going to put the timestamps at the end as well. Well, I'm not sure if I can actually do times. If I finish at 6, which is in 20 minutes, I'm not sure if I have time to put timestamps in. Solana, okay. Ooh, we hit my target box. A little bit of a rejection. So on Solana, right? 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Now this is your bullish count, by the way. Because here you look for another 4 and then eventually another 5. Let me remove this here, by the way. 4 up. So here you have another 4 and another 5. Of course, your bearish scenario is that your white count is 1 2 3 4 5. So 4 is a bit shorter than 2, and that this is blue 3, blue 4, blue 5, end of a bull market down. That's your bullish and your bearish scenario, right? But it leads to the same move up. Now, at the moment on Solana, same as on Bitcoin, highest amount of volume is in the recent move up. Now, the potential here for a multi-1-2, clearly. So you would still be looking for 4 and 5s. So this is just a normal retracement that you would like to see in the market. The previous range is always important support. So in this case, interesting support surely is between 225 and 201. We actually hit 225, I just see. And then can these already be a 4? 1 2 3 4 5. This looks like a 5, then 4 4 1 2 3 4. Take a fib from the low to the high, toggle on the 618. Where is it? There you go. Yeah, okay. Oh, well. You don't want to go to 173, but I mean, that's obvious. Going to 190 would start to be a bit of a problem. So it's no problem to move around in the low 200, but that's your area of support on Solana. And the probabilities remain higher to still look for higher. You have the highest amount of volume in this push to the upside. And then, of course, you look for 4 5s. high volume in the low. Typical for C's. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. We have 886 touches here as well, interestingly. So yeah, that's the probabilities. Okay, what do we have? We had Doge. Oh, Doge is always funny. Where is it? Fucking dog. Okay. Doge. Up. Yo, maybe a band-aid, man. How you doing? What's up? What's up? Okay. If Doge can hit the 886, would be good. 886, higher probabilities to take all-time high. So, I mean, higher. It already is bullish. Clearly, the count on my chart, which we were looking for, was an impulse. So, yeah, 1, 2, currently in 3. Inside this wave 3, we then have another 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe another one over here. So in other words, you're looking for a couple of 4 5s to then finish blue 3, and then you still have blue 4, and then you still have blue 5. So yeah, you're just looking for price to move up. You know, you're currently flipping the weekly 0.37, close the candle above, retesting this week here. If you close it here, you just flip the weekly. Next resistance 0.57. But yeah, there's, you know, Doge is just flying. So yeah, okay, Doge very easy now. DNX, I have no idea what that is. Did I ever? No, I don't know what that is. DNX. What's this? You can't really analyze these type of charts too well. So first of all, the start, is this really, we don't have any more info. Holy moly, no. No. Okay, well, I'll that will be a short one. Okay, so first of all, this whole move up is basically irrelevant because of its initiation. So usually the first moves are not really taken into account. You know, can you count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here? Maybe, but it doesn't really matter. What matters most in these type of environments is the local structures. So basically, you want to you pretty much you want to say, okay, this is all-time low, and I want to see an impulse from this low up, right? That's how you want to approach the chart. Now, currently, price is making a higher high on lower volume. That's not what you want to see. You want price to move up and volume to increase, right? So no problem if we do. Let's see if I zoom out. We have clearly a identifiable support resistance area on the chart. 1 second. And another one. Oh. So currently at resistance. And the value area high of the previous range. 4-hour time frame. This would be your 1 in that case. This would be your 2, and then you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, highest amount of volume in this move up, which is then your 3. So in other words, to remain bullish, you still want to take out the high at least one more time, minimum, without touching 0.3213. That would be not too great. And 0.3291 would start to impact probabilities, because basically what you're looking for is 1, 2, 3, highest volume, whatever, range in 4, and then a wave 5 to the upside to take out the high. With these type of charts, only focus on the low time frame. It doesn't make sense to count the high time frame because you don't have the info. Yeah. KDA, we filled the gap. I think it's been a while since we were on this chart by the looks of it. At least we have some good volume coming in locally. So yeah, it's the same here, but really, like, locally you're moving to the upside, you have volume coming in, so that's what you're going to focus on, no? So you can see the highest amount of volume in the recent move up. Therefore, everything happening here is a series of 1-2s, expanding diagonal 1, 3-wave structure 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So now you're just looking for 4, 5, 4, 5s and price to continue. So yeah, you can have dips, but you're still looking for up and up and up later anyway. So that's your highest probability on KDA. Yeah, you know, like, you got to be prepared, of course, that if you do get the wave 4s, right, on alts, you can have a 10%, 15% wave 4, but you're still looking for price to move up. The highest amount of volume is in the recent move. So you're in the market that we're in. You're looking for wave 4s and 5s, expanding diagonal 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then you still look for 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, like at the moment, like 3. Conservative would be a double, 2, 4, 5s. Yeah. You know, bull markets make analysis very, very easy. XRP is another one. Will be done here in 1 minute. Well, let me write this down. Because, like, trying to count all of the low time frame stuff on alts, of course you can, you know, it can be helpful sometimes, but in general, what I like to do with alts is have a helicopter perspective. Like, it makes a lot more sense to me to observe the higher time frame and not touch the alts too much, but just let things do its thing. And here as well on XRP, we break out. We have our double 1-2 here, 1-2, 1-2, 3. We just keep going up. So even here, you're looking for 4, 5, 4, 5 still to come. So in other words, yeah, you're looking for higher. Confluence, we flipped the. Did we take the high now? No, we didn't. We passed the resistance here. Do we have anything else that are like relevant? Triangle, very nice. I have a box here. 5 till 26. Decent target. Probably wave 5 target that I put on my chart back in the day. Corrective price action. Yeah, very much en route to all-time highs, no? 886, and if price can touch the 886, then the probabilities increase even more to take out all-time high on XRP. Ethereum is, I would be interested in a triangle on ETH, actually. Where is it? So on ETH, Up. So on ETH, probabilities are highest to take out all-time high at some stage. We have the 886 that was touched, taken from the high to the low. Very clear three-wave structure to the downside, which is corrective. Increasing probabilities that the moment price moved up here, touched the 618, taken from this high to this low. The moment this happened over here, probabilities were higher to take all-time high. Price moves up. Because, by the way, wave 4 invalidated. So you look for corrective structures. Zigzags increase in probability. Highest amount of volume in the low. But then you touch the 886, probabilities increase to take the high. And then for good measure, you also have an 886 touch locally, increasing probabilities to take the high. After an 886 touch, any move to the downside, higher probability to be corrective and not impulsive, increasing probabilities to still take the high at a later stage. And on ETH, also here, you are currently moving up on increased volume. This week has the highest amount of volume. So in other words, you're still looking for 4s and 5s if you're bullish, because wave 3 most commonly has the highest amount of volume. So you're looking for whatever happens here, 1, 2, maybe another 1, 1, 2, but eventually you look for 3, 4, 5, etc. Mind you, this can still be on ETH, ABC. I do want to highlight this because of a triangle. As long as you do not take this high here at 4.1K, you can still have another move E before moving up. Just so you know. Up. So the invalidation for a triangle pretty much is taking out that high. But it still adds to the same conclusion, which is moving up on Ethereum. Very nice. What's this? FET. I have a lot of groups. This is the support resistance that we want to see flipped on the weekly. We're working on it, currently above it. That would be a sign of strength. And then I have a couple of scenarios. 1, 2, 3, deep 4, 4 on 0.5, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that case. What's this? This is a double 1, 2, which is more bullish. Same result, moving up. What's a bearish scenario? Let me have a look if this is still valid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that is still valid, but we'll get to probably. Oh, and this is resistance. Okay, now locally, of course, bulls and bears. Bulls, if this is your low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, another 1, another 2, 1, 2, up, highest amount of volume. Currently here, by the way. So you do want price to move up and volume to increase preferably. But it's the same thing over and over. You do have a potential bearish option. However, it's good to know that in a zigzag wave A, a diagonal only happens in 7% of the wave A's in a zigzag, which is not very high probabilities. So move to the upside. We do have, like, the average volume is increasing, right? So you can see the past couple of days, right? The average volume, you didn't take the peak, but you do see the line continues to increase. So also here, I would probably take it from this low to the high, toggle on the 618 here, and just look for wave 4s and wave 5s. A good thing for this, what are we looking at again? FET, would be to close the weekly above this SR, retest it next week, and if we can hold, that would be good. And then retest, hold, and then change the structure, and then yeah. Interesting. We also have, of course, the previous range here as resistance, plus this order block. Probably this is the resistance that I would keep an eye on as your next area of resistance, 2 to 2.3. Being a little bit more precise, you could start at 212. Also in confluence with the point of control at 214. So be mindful of this area. Oh, I forgot when we started with this. I would give it 2 minutes. KDA. I saw a couple of people earlier asking rows. I actually don't know if I... yeah, we do have analysis here. Let me add this. Rows. Group 1 is a 1-2. Group 2, that's a bearish, and group 3, oh yeah, support resistance. So you now close the candle above, retest. We already working on changing structure, so signs of strength. This move to the downside, higher probability of it being a 3-waver. Can we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That would be bearish, of course. Can we count? Is this a diagonal? But then again, right, diagonal. Not the highest probabilities. 1, 2. W, X, Y, X, Z, or Z. W, X, Y. Same here. Wait. Oop. Let me first write this down. Time-wise. So price, I don't. Diagonals are not as common as like they're just not as common. Like you can count diagonals everywhere. It would make more sense to prioritize this as a corrective structure, and only think about a diagonal if an impulse to the upside here invalidates. As long as that's not the case, you're preferably looking for an impulse. So here on the daily, price moving up. You see also here your latest peak is here. So in this case, your bullish scenario would be 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, and you're starting your 3. You don't want to see price move below here, start of 3. If so, you want to see volume coming in and increase as price moves towards the upside. Mind resistances, we don't really have monthlies. No. We moved above this point of control. We're currently at the value area high of the previous range. Yeah, next 0.12577. Yeah, it looks good. Just moving up. Didn't change market structure. You want to keep it that way. You don't want to move above, like below here. So, yeah. Possibly a flat on ETH, or what, like if you think about a flat on the daily, you would still expect price to take the double top that it left behind, right? But then you can't think about, that would be a big WXY on a daily. Yes, you take the 886 tops, maybe even all-time high, and then you go down in a C, yeah, or the triangle, but that would be bearish scenario. I actually wonder, Gabriel, if you ever go long or you always try to short. Besides Bitcoin, what are you most bullish on? Which alt? I just analyze the alts for you guys. I don't have favorites or one, like based on my analysis, you'll know which ones look good and which ones are doubtful and which ones don't look good. So yeah, I don't have a pick of like XYZ, I suppose. It is 6 p.m. though, which means that I have to go. Go enjoy Ashley and Formula One. We actually won't watch Formula One because we are going to Hans Zimmer. Yep, in the Palais Nikaya. So we go to Hans Zimmer tonight, and we're gonna dress up. I'm not going in my Dutch shirt here. But oh yeah, and by the way, for people that joined later, I bought a lot of nice new stuff yesterday, including some stuff for my very empty background. So there will be a nice closet, a nice closet with some planks, and I can put some nice stuff on top, and some plants and some lights, and then create a bit of light in the back. I got some Philips Hue Play lights or whatever, like bars that I can position. And I bought a webcam stand, and a microphone stand, new laptop, new light, new all that stuff. So we're gonna increase the quality of the content. It will still be me talking, which will remain the same, not an increased amount of knowledge per se, but the webcam quality, the wobbly, you see what I mean? The webcam wobbling because it's the webcam of the laptop, and you know, that like, you know, camera quality, the recording. I can record to I think 4K 60 FPS if I want to. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, improvements will be made. But I don't know, all this stuff because of Black Friday and whatnot. It probably takes a little while before everything arrives. So new microphone as well, microphone stand with a kun cap. So on the thing here, it then says Kunz. Really cool, really cool, lol. Thanks everyone for being here. I gotta prepare for us to leave in about 20 minutes. Appreciate your time here on your valuable Saturday, and we will see each other again. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, but usually it would be Monday, no? Monday for sure. So Monday for sure, maybe tomorrow, depends on my day. Usually I have a lot of other stuff to do. Usually, of course, we have altcoin Sunday, but now we have done so many alts during the week as well. So and I need to put timestamps in this video, but I'll do that, I don't know, maybe before I leave. But in today's video, we did Bitcoin for a long period of time, and then we did Solana, Doge, DNX, KDA, XRP, ETH, wait, 2 times KDA, something went wrong, doesn't matter. And then Rose, I'll correct it in the timestamps afterwards. So thanks for being here. Enjoy your weekend, touch some grass, and I'll see you at the next one.